right, ready to jump into something different today?
Always up for a challenge.
Well, today we're going back in time, diving deep into Saudi Arabia's Foundation Day.
Ah, fascinating. Not their national day, right?
You got it. This was all about the roots, the very beginning, going way back to the 1700s.
Wow. Okay, so way before the modern kingdom we know today.
Exactly. And we've got this awesome guide for expats living in Saudi Arabia, explaining how to really engage with this unique celebration.
Makes sense. It's probably not something most people outside of Saudi Arabia even know about.
Right. So we're going to unpack what makes Foundation Day so special and why it's important to understand, even if you're not Saudi.
Sounds like a plan, uncovering the heart of Saudi heritage.
I like that. So first things first, Foundation Day. What exactly are we celebrating?
It commemorates the founding of the first Saudi state.
Okay, and when was that? And by who?
Daira back in 1727 by Imam Mohammed bin Saud.
So almost 300 years ago?
Pretty incredible, right? To think that everything we see in Saudi Arabia today has roots stretching back that far.
Definitely puts things into perspective. Now, I know we have Saudi National Day in September, so how does Foundation Day fit in? Are they celebrating the same thing twice?
Great question. It's like celebrating your birthday versus your family's heritage.
I see what you mean.
National Day marks the unification of the kingdom as we know it today. That was back in 1932.
Okay, more recent history.
Right, but Foundation Day digs deeper understanding those foundations, the very bedrock upon which modern Saudi Arabia is built.
So it's like appreciating the entire family tree, not just the current generation.
Exactly.
And speaking of family, our guide really emphasizes how Foundation Day is celebrated with these amazing cultural festivals. What jumps out to you?
Oh, it's such a vibrant experience. There are parades, special exhibitions showcasing Saudi history and art, and of course the traditional dances.
Ooh, tell me more about the dances.
Well, you can't talk about traditional Saudi dances without mentioning the Orda.
Arda. What's that like?
Imagine rows of men, swords flashing in the air, rhythmic chanting. The ground practically trembles beneath their feet.
Wow. Okay, that's going straight onto my must-see list.
It's a powerful display of unity and strength, really captivating.
And it's not just dancing, right? Our guide mentioned some pretty amazing visual elements, too.
Absolutely. It's a true feast for the senses. You've got fireworks lighting up the sky, light shows projected onto historic buildings, almost bringing the past to life before your eyes.
Wow, that's got to be something else. Anything else?
And then there are the falconry displays.
Hold on, falconry. I thought that was just something out of medieval Europe.
Not at all. Falconry is deeply rooted in Bedouin culture. These nomadic peoples have relied on falcons for hunting for centuries.
Makes sense, actually, when you think about the desert environment.
Exactly. It's a skill passed down through generations, a symbol of their connection to nature and their heritage.
So it's more than just a cool bird show. It's a window into a whole way of life.
Precisely. And it takes incredible patience and precision to train a falcon. The birds themselves are just breathtaking to see in flight.
I can imagine. Now, our guide also mentioned something about traditional attire playing a big role in the festivities. What's the significance there?
Clothing isn't just about fashion in Saudi Arabia. It's a powerful symbol of identity and heritage.
Right, I've noticed that.
During Foundation Day, you'll see men in their traditional robes called the thobe.
Okay, those long white robes, right?
Exactly, and some will wear a bisht over it.
Bisht?
Yeah, it's like a flowing cloak, often black or brown, trimmed with gold. Think of it as a mark of honor and status.
Makes you stand out for sure. And I'm guessing the women have their own traditional attire.
Oh, absolutely. The women wear these beautifully embroidered dresses, but they're actually specific to different regions of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, wow. You can tell where someone's family's from just by their dress.
That's the idea. It's like wearing a piece of your family history. You'll see different colors, patterns, embroidery, all representing different parts of the country.
That's amazing. So we got these vibrant parades, falconry displays, stunning traditional clothes. Anything else that really captures the spirit of Foundation Day?
Well, you can't talk about any celebration in Saudi Arabia without mentioning the food.
Ooh, okay, tell me more.
Imagine hearty aromatic dishes. You've got jarish, this slow-cooked wheat and meat stew, and kabsa, fragrant rice with meat and spices. And of course, no gathering is complete without dates and Arabic coffee.
Oh man, the aroma of Arabic coffee is intoxicating. It sounds incredible, and like a serious departure from my usual takeout routine.
It's a true culinary adventure.
But it's not just about enjoying delicious food in isolation, right? The guide mentions a big emphasis on family gatherings during Foundation Day.
You got it. It's a time for families to come together, share stories, reinforce those intergenerational bonds. Grandparents recount their memories, parents teach their children about their ancestors, and everyone just enjoys each other's company and this incredible spread of food.
It sounds amazing, weaving those cultural threads tightly together, right? Making sure the stories and traditions are passed down through the generations.
Exactly. It's about connecting over shared values and traditions and creating memories that will last a lifetime.
So we're talking parades, falconry, amazing clothes, incredible food, and family time. This sounds like an incredibly immersive experience.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
I can tell. There's so much more to explore.
We've just laid the groundwork. There's a whole world of cultural depth waiting to be uncovered. And we're back, ready to keep exploring the cultural landscape of Foundation Day in Saudi Arabia.
I'm still kind of amazed by those falconry displays. It's fascinating how something so, seemingly simple can be so deeply meaningful.
Absolutely. It really speaks to the enduring power of tradition. And speaking of powerful, we talked about those visual elements before, but there's definitely more to unpack there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Our guide talked about light shows projected onto historic buildings. It sounds almost magical, honestly.
It really is. Imagine the history of Saudi Arabia kind of unfolding before your eyes, projected onto the very structures that witnessed it all.
Wow, that's incredible. I'd love to see that.
The guide specifically mentions cities using this technology to tell the story of Diriyah, that first Saudi state we were talking about.
Right. So it's like a living, breathing history lesson.
Exactly. And our guide also highlighted the importance of color during Foundation Day.
Oh yeah? What did they say about that?
Green and white. Everywhere.
The colors of the Saudi flag.
Yep. It's a visual representation of national pride and unity, a way for people to show their patriotism, wear their heart on their sleeve.
It's amazing how powerful something as simple as wearing certain colors can be.
Yeah, you're right. And it's not just about the colors themselves, but also those intricate details on the traditional attire.
I bet.
Our guide went into all these regional variations, explaining how the embroidery, the patterns, even the way a garment is draped can signify a family's lineage, their status or what region they're from.
Wow, so it's like a visual language almost, expressing heritage and regional diversity all at once.
Exactly. A beautiful tapestry woven from threads of history, tradition, and individual expression.
It sounds like a feast for the eyes, for sure. I bet the atmosphere at these celebrations is electric.
Oh, absolutely. There's a real buzz in the air. And